Home run yesterday. She's going to be a big piece, being able to make those adjustments.
That's one of the things, too, Danielle, you and I were talking about, is looking back at that series and being able to use that series and how the pitchers threw to the hitters as information for them. Able to drop in that changeup. She's been getting a lot of swing and miss on that pitch.
Slapped over to third. That's Bailey Lindemuth throwing.
Games, how are you going to adjust as a pitcher? It's not easy.
These are the kind of matchups we live for. The pitcher of the year versus the player of the year in the Big 12 here as Devin Netz steps in against Kennedy. Not hit hard, soft liner to the shortstop, Haley Toney, and another scoreless inning.
I'm with you. I was just surprised when I did get the news. She is that crafty lefty, and they're kind of looking at the trend of Texas Tech and how they've been pitched over the course of this tournament. So there was definitely some thought process, and just 60s, has that drop, curve and a rise, but
lineup that Jerry Glasgow had yesterday, and you can't blame him when you put up 18 runs in 5 innings.
Yeah, you put 11 runs up in just 1 inning alone in yesterday that Texas Tech brings to the plate and try to throw in some of those off speeds.
Not hit hard off the bat of Demi Elder and quick
for Texas Tech against the left-handed pitcher.
I think a lot of that, too, has to do with the swing path of somebody like Allred and how she's able to let that ball travel deep, especially from those lefty curveballs moving away from her in the left-handed batter's box.
This hit well to left field, drifting back as a left fielder.
I mean, I tried, but I mean, it's incredible. And I feel like she's been so humble throughout this whole process, and it's just made me even a bigger fan of her because she's opened some doors for a lot of women in our sport with that.
Popped up back behind the plate. Stewart is retired.
Almost expect her to put up 0 runs, maybe just 1 run, and that's a lot of pressure for every pitcher to deal with.
Altmaier forcing Kennedy to field her position. Great scoop at first. Sydney Stewart had the big hit in that game, 3-run home run to break a 3-all tie. In on the hands, another soft liner, not a lot of hard contact against Kennedy so far. Are we going to be something higher than a 16 or a 15? There's the first hit of the game, a solid single by the freshman Lindemuth leading off.
Even be the 11 or the 12 instead of the 16. So it's definitely things that coaches think about. You can't say that the athletes are always
over her last 10 games, and that's exactly what you want to see from somebody right in the heart of your order, especially when there's people on the base paths.
Johnson 2 for 2 in the semifinal win, 3 runs batted in and a run scored, 3 for 4 in the tournament. That gets away from the catcher, Stewart, and taking second base. Maddox did face Texas Tech in that series that Danielle referenced. This is a line drive to left. And that's another one that gets away from the catcher, Stewart. So a runner at third. That is a literal statement.
Well, and she's the ultimate competitor, too. She hits a ball into the gap yesterday. She's diving headfirst into second base. So she is running the bases. She wants every single base she can possibly get.
Well, there's a part of me where I was like, what are you doing? Coach still believes in me. I'm going to be in the lineup. I'm a rock behind the dish. I mean, that makes a difference.
Solid single to center field, and Texas Tech is on the board. That's got to feel great for Victoria Valdez, who's been struggling a bit at the plate.
Kind of makes you think, how long is like the leash here for Ryan Maddox, right? Like, you just don't want any lead to feel like it gets too out of hand. Like I said, 1 run for Nyjah sometimes feels like it's 3 or 4 when she is throwing well.
Ground ball to second to flip to second for the force out.
The time.
This is lifted to deep left field, drifting back to left fielder. It's over her head. Kennedy can't get it. 1 run scores. Here comes a second run, and it's another big hit for the freshman Haley Toney, who jogs over to third. Texas Tech on top 3-0. Hug from your head coach at third base.
Well, talk about goosebumps. She goes up and gets this pitch and just hits it right over Dakota Kennedy's head. Listen, this is like situations where you remember, like when she's running the bases, she gets in, knows she got some ribbies. That's not the important part. It's like, I'm contributing and helping my team. I'm back in it. I feel good.
Look like a golf ball coming in, and the next at bat, all of a sudden everything's clicking. Your rhythm is back to the way that it has felt throughout the rest of the season.
Line drive, base hit. Maya Davis comes through at the plate again, 4-0.
Just to be able to get that last bit of extension to drop the ball out into the outfield. So she's a really tough batter to pitch against.
Elder with a ground ball to first. in Athens, Georgia because of weather. We're the lucky ones.
I keep looking up to the sky, too, as you're talking about the weather to make sure no clouds pop up.
Soft liner to left.
Lineup is when you're like, oh shoot, I'm trying to get on time.
She's got that in her back pocket. You know it's there, right?
For the up, and talking with Coach Amber Freeman prior to the game, she said we got to go after the rise, but I mean it's tough. She hasn't had to whip out the changeup. She's making it hard here for the Wildcats.
Ball in the mid-60s. That's a big adjustment that you have to make timing-wise.
Well, and I also think the importance of being able to command your changeup, because when you have a good changeup against this Texas Tech team, you can be successful.
Under the glove of Nets, then under the glove of Escobar.
It feels like just yesterday we were down in Clearwater.
Soft liner, gloved by Sniffen.
They win this SEC tournament. I think if they do that, I have to put them in the #1 spot with just their resume and what they've been able to do, and playing in the toughest conference in the country for the first time and outright winning it.
Brand new conference, coming back from a 6-run deficit yesterday.
Yeah.
All those home runs, a lot of young.
She's it.
Yeah.
She's that pitcher. This is a fly ball to the right fielder, Altmaier.
And if you're not able to understand that you just got to keep going, it can eat you up.
It's a good bunt.
Plenty of time to beat out that bunt.
Well, I even feel like Lindenmuth was still in, respecting that Kennedy can drop that bunt, and she was still able to get it down the third baseline.
Ground ball too short. There's a nice little play made by the player that we were just discussing a moment ago.
I think when I just look at her over the course of not only her career, but like just looking at her even this weekend, like she's been so big for them late in games. Coming up, they've all been come from behind wins, and she's been the one that's kind of almost dirty.
Right on cue. Back-to-back changeups. You have.
Stewart was 2 for 3 yesterday. Big home run, 3-run shot to send Arizona to the championship game, and she's on board for the first time today. 2-pitch to Altmaier. Swung on and missed. 4th strikeout for Kennedy.
She almost carries that from how she was as a player to a coach.
Soft liner on the short hop, gloved by B.
Up a home run. It's just the impact that you have, the taking the time to say hello. That makes a big imprint on them.
Last time, 5th hit of the tournament for the junior. One of 5 transfers from Louisiana who followed Jerry Glasgow to Lubbock. Now Stoddard gets the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Miranda Stoddard. 1-2-3 inning.
Pass the bat mentality to my next teammate, even though it may not be me on the base pass. I don't know, trying to ignite something. And those 2 strikeouts by Miranda Stoddard, like that's the energy that I want to try to carry over and get going. So it's like, hey, if I do choose to swing early in the count, I have to be able to barrel up a pitch. And that's what's so tough about facing her. If you get under it, you foul ball. Being able to move forward and say, hey, I got a 1-2 count, I could bounce this. Or how low can I put this pitch? Like what type of, height difference can I get on it? And there's another prime example, like 56 miles an hour down.
In this event, I hope we can get more people out here, with Oklahoma not being here in Oklahoma State.
The program, and as a matter of fact, during now he knows like things in a tournament could get a little busy. There goes the runner down to second.
No.
Oh no! It's Arizona softball. We
the
don't
metal
deal.
Stuff.
We find real the way Nigeri's pitching.
Yeah, it's almost like they seem kind of confused on what they're trying to swing at, and that's when you know a pitcher is just really cruising.
Fly ball hit to deep center field, but playable for Arizona's Shockey, and that will do it.
Now's the time to turn the page and find a way to just have better pitches in certain situations to get in their head even more.
And there's the second walk of the game.
About hitting and what the plan was and how she was really going to start to own in on that hitting piece. And Jerry and her have spent a lot of time together working that. And sometimes that just gives you a fresher mindset in the circle.
It's going to be a base hit.
The offensive numbers, the ribbies, the homers, and then to be able to do it on the flip side as a pitcher.
Back to the pitcher. Kennedy gets the lead runner looking for 2. And Texas Tech turns it.
Victoria Valdez, Haley Toney in the 9 spot. You've got a lot of different people that have been able to contribute in today's game.
Lana Johnson leading things off, 0 for 2 today. This is out to left. Kennedy puts it away for out number 1 as
hardest working people he's ever been around, and it's rubbed off on this entire team this season.
Kennedy swings at the first pitch, lifts it to right. Altmaier drifting back to the track.
She's getting everyone's best constantly, so when she can step in the batter's box, she can be someone completely different, and it's great.
Valdez with a ground ball to short. Maria at strike 3 on that changeup to Sydney Stewart leading off the 7th. The 2-2 in on the hands, coming in from first to grab it.
I'm actually a little jealous that she can choose when to throw at 66 or she can gas it up at 73 miles an hour.
Fly ball to left off the bat of Altmaier in foul ground. Making the play is Elder, 2 down.
Corey, especially off the left-handed bat, this ball's just going to continue.
Well, now you're in your dome. You're like, oh, man, she went change. Is she going back? I was planning on swinging early and
Popped up. Catcher calls for it. In a season of firsts, it's another first for Texas Tech. Big 12 tournament champions for the first time. To take the Lubbock.
This is a team that came into last year's Big 12 tournament as the 8 seed. They come in this year as the 1 seed, and they come away with a Big 12 championship title.
what shines the most in this weekend is that throughout the course of the season, anytime Nyjah's thrown, it's taken a while for